All right. Welcome back, everybody. Rudy, Alpha Investments. Today, I'm surprised it took us this long. Honestly, everybody, think about this. Are we really surprised that first print runs and I thought for sure this probably would have started years ago, but I guess here we are. So let me explain kind of what I've noticed happening the last couple months. And Ikoria kind of just pushed it over the edge. First print runs and booster boxes in Magic have never really been a thing. In other products like Pokemon, you have first print run stampings. Force of Will tried first edition stampings. A lot of card games you had that. I even think Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know, Flesh and Blood, Argent Saga, a lot of card games did that. So back in the day, the first thing I remember was 2008, 2009 range. Original Zendikar, obviously Priceless Treasure. First edition, but they weren't labeled that way. Obviously, you had the Priceless Treasures, which created a disparity between value of first edition and all reprints after that. So here we are. I started noticing on Throne of Eldraine, I noticed a couple patrons were buying the standard boxes, and they were really happy when they got like the Japanese first printed versions. And then they started requesting just that version. I'm like, look, I have no control on, when I get shipments or pallets in, I don't get to choose that. But now, when Ikoria rolled around, all of a sudden now we have first edition, which is the Japanese printers and contains the Godzilla virus card. So this is the first time I've actually seen a true disparity in price. And then it got solidified when about a week ago, it depends when you guys watch this video, when it actually goes live, when about a week ago, one distributor even offered me additional first print run Ikoria boxes for a 10% higher price, or the regular, $78, $77, $60, whatever price for the regular booster boxes. I started to realize, okay, wait a minute. So there's like a market developing, and then I've been getting a ton of patrons saying, hey, are you going to have the first ones, the second? So let me explain how this works. First thing, with Ikoria, the first edition Japanese printed, made in Japan printed, it says made in Japan the box, the Japanese printers, and it has a different type of feel to the box. There's different cardboard. When you look at the back of the box, the barcode type stuff, it all looks different. It feels different. The outer cardboard case on a full case of 6 is different. And the actual cards themselves are more glossy and polished because they're printed using a higher quality, machine setup. So I started to notice a difference. And then when Wizards came out and said, well, all collector's boxes are first edition. And then, of course, the first edition standard boxes, which are always made in Japan, used for usually pre-releases and tournament stores at the beginning of the launch of a new set, those are usually the only time you can get them. And they're usually like none in existence by the time the set goes out of print 12 to 24 months later. So I've noticed all of a sudden Ikoria seems to be the line in the sand. And I kind of expect Wizards to start making financial or economic adjustments after seeing what's happening in the marketplace because of the Godzilla virus promo card, which is only, not even a promo, Godzilla virus card, which is only available in collector boxes or the made in Japan English first printings. So I was like, okay, does anybody really care about this? And I've been getting so many messages, even the patrons are requesting, Rudy, I don't care if I get either one, I'm just opening it for friends. No, Rudy, I'm going to keep mine sealed, I only want this one. Can I get it? So I was like, all right, how do we handle this? Because you can't just order more first print runs. They're not out there. And since most first print run of any new standard set is immediately cracked and distributed because they're used for pre-release, it really adds a layer of complexity because you can't just reserve them or get a bunch of extra ones from distributors by the pallet. It doesn't work that way. So I think moving forward, especially as we approach Zendikar at the end of the year, I don't know if the core set's going to be that way or not, but it feels like it's kind of here to stay. Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long, everybody. Honestly. I mean, you think about it, it's like, with all the flashy variants and everything out there, I mean, are you really surprised, different printings are becoming a thing? I mean, I went on eBay. It's the middle of June. I went on eBay. I think today's like June 20th, 21st. I don't know when you guys will see the video. And I'm sitting here going, oh my God. I went on eBay and typed in Ikoria, like first edition or just first booster, or like first Ikoria booster box. I spelled it out. I even did the number 1 ST for first. And I just did Ikoria first printing, print run. I just wanted to see. And sure enough, there was only like 2 or 3 listings for the original first edition printings, and they were all like $130 to $150 a box. And I realized, okay, this is apparently a real thing. I don't know how long this has been going on because Theros is the same way. I started getting messages in the last 30 days about, Rudy, can I get Pharaohs first printed boxes? And I was like, I don't have control. I can't do that. I can't request that. It doesn't work that way. And now that distributors are realizing this, and everybody through the ecosystem and food chain is learning there's a price difference between first edition and regular, even though the cards don't say first edition, but the sealed boxes are different, and the actual card stock, the card quality is different. I think this is kind of here to stay, everybody. I really do. And I think it's going to make another variable monkey wrench into the long-term people who hoard, collect, and evil investors keeping sealed product. Because I thought, we're going to have Ikoria boxes and then Ikoria collector boxes. And, just like Pharaohs and Theros collectors. So technically, it's not true. We have the collector boxes, the regular, and then the first printing of the regular. So technically, we have 3 categories of a new standard set now. And I don't know how that's going to impact long term. But I can tell you for a fact, the original first printings are just almost impossible to get. And like I said, but the fact that a distributor offered me additional ones at a higher price, and in other words, there's a difference. They're seeing the difference in it, is definitely opening my eyes that the distributors themselves are realizing the market's different because of the Ikoria Godzilla card. And yes, before everybody asks, Ikoria first edition boxes and Ikoria regular standard boxes, they both contain box toppers, okay? All the Ikoria boxes have box toppers. At least that's what I was told. I haven't cracked a bunch to verify, but I was under the impression that they all have a box topper. Now, it's not the same box topper as like Ultimate Masters, Full Art, Extended, whatever, but it has a promo, some sort of different variant box topper on top in every $79.99 type box. So, for those of you still watching, what I'm going to have to do with the patrons and everything moving forward is, for example, July 1st, I'm going to sell the $79.99 shipped Ikoria boxes for the patrons, and they can do whatever they want with them. They want to crack them, flip singles, keep them sealed. I don't really care. And then I'm going to have to offer a small limited supply of like first print run boxes, I guess, for $99.99. And I'll just see if that lasts more than a couple days or whatever. Because again, I've got a little bit, like a couple hundred boxes, which again, if you sell them by the case, that's enough for maybe like 50 people. But there's just not much out there. I've asked if there's a way to request certain ones, and there isn't. On top of that, I don't know if it's going to make a difference long term. Obviously, Ikoria with the Godzilla example, there was an actual difference in utility of the card within the box. But like Pharaohs, people, I go online and people are selling first edition Pharaohs boxes. They're actually labeling these listings at different prices. And I don't know if this is really going to become a big deal moving forward, because I know in 10 years from now, like if you look at a product from 10 years ago, I know it's a bad example, but if you look at a Pokemon box from 20 years ago, a first edition versus non-first edition, the prices aren't even close to the same. They're like literally double, triple price differences. And I know it's a terrible example because of rarity and the age and but the point is, as years go by, that price discrepancy can widen and widen, and I don't know if it's going to sustain that or if this is a flash in the pan because of Ikoria. So I thought it deserved its own video. The point is, like, even to patrons and people I sell to, I'm going to maintain the $79.99 ship price, but for people who want, I have a little bit select few, that's optional. Some people don't care. Some people said, Rudy, I don't give 2 craps. Just give me a cheap box. Other people are like, well, I don't know. I need to have exposure. So it's going to be up to everybody to make their own decisions on it. I don't know if it's going to make a difference long term. This is a straight up gamble. So it's going to be up to the individuals to make the decision. If you feel paying, $20 more for a box being a certain version is worth it to you. Now, I know some of you out there are like, well, Rudy, in my country, I pay $200 a box. I know some of you guys, like in Canada, South America, your prices are crazy. Europe, oh my goodness. But that's all I have to say about it. I guess I'm just not surprised. I'm really not. With the way the variants and reprints and how much product and Wizards and the way things are, and it's 2020, not much is really surprising me anymore. Everybody's very high strung, a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety and stress out there. But I wanted to at least make a video to let a lot of people out there realize what's going on, because I truly don't think that most people and most store owners and most collectors or players, I don't think most people are even aware that this is becoming a thing. So I thought it was very important to at least spread the message. If you agree with it or disagree, it doesn't make a difference, but at least you were informed of this topic, and everybody out there can make their own decision. And if you think it's stupid, cool. If you don't, well, that's what's happening right now. Welcome to 2020. That's what it is.